Hello, thank you for tuning into our video. Please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. If you have any questions, any concerns, please leave a comment or send me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you. Okay, so today what we're installing is a Schluter foam base made of polystyrene, I believe. This is going over a concrete slab, so they use, this is actually a remodel, so we decided to reuse the old drain instead of jackhammering the whole bathroom up to install a new drain. So this is an old 3-piece, and I use the FHA adapter from Schluter to tie into that. The concrete had a few minor cracks in there, so I took some Latacrete Hydroband waterproofing and crack prevention liquid membrane and painted that on the surface to make sure no cracks come through the surface. But first step when you're doing this type of installation using an FHA adapter for the old 3-piece drains here, you gotta build up the substrate a little bit. So what I'm doing here is I'm spreading down some thin set. In this case I'm using a modified thin set, which is Ardex X77. Now you could just use an unmodified thin set, but in this case I felt like I wanted to go with a modified. And Ardex does warranty the Schluter's showers as long as you use their materials, but you avoid Schluter's warranty, but Ardex will pick it up. Just keep that in mind. So I'm just getting my thin set down, keyed in like usual, like I've always said on my videos, always keyed in with a flat side trowel to notch it out. Trowel I'm using here is a 3/8 by 3/8 square notch trowel. And I'm getting my thin set down. I'm putting down a piece of 1/2-inch kerdi board to build up the substrate in order to make the height right for the drain in this install. That's what you usually have to do with these FHA adapter drain kits, is put a piece of 1/2-inch backer board or kerdi board, which I prefer to use. So that's what I'm using. Getting down a thin set, and we're going to set that. And I'm also skimming the back of the kerdi board with thin set to get a good bond. See that? Also, one other thing I'd like to mention, make sure when you're doing these parts of the install with Schluter products, you want your thin set on the loose side. You want it pretty loose, not soupy, but very loose. That way you get a good bond to all these connections here. Okay, once I have it in place, just check around, make sure everything is nice and flat and level. Always want to check that before you're going any further. Okay, once the kerdi board is down, we install our Schluter foam pan as usual. So get down your thin set, key it in, use the same size trowel. I'm using a 3/8 by 3/8 by 3/8 square notch trowel. So once that's in, I like to back butter the pan too with the flat side of the trowel, get a good bond. So here's me doing that. Okay, what I like to do is just, label the pan that way when you go to set and you got your thin set down. Instead of making a mess if you put it down wrong, just label the pan. It makes your life a lot easier. You look at it, you put it back in the same exact way. Because everything had to be cut down here. This whole pan, I got a slightly larger pan, which you always want to do, unless the opening is exactly right. So that way you can cut it down to size. Otherwise, if you don't and it's too small, you gotta pack the perimeter with a dry pack mortar, which is an extra step. So once I got it in place here, get it in, make sure it's tight where I need it, and then I get in there and I walk on it. Kind of do a shuffle with it, get all the air out. You'll hear the air start popping out the front. That's what you want. If you don't take this step, there could possibly be a void under there. I mean, it could happen. I can't tell you that it won't, but it's, you know, there's a chance it could happen, so it doesn't hurt to get in there and step on it. Now if your substrate is not pretty close to level, then you want to level it out prior to setting the pan. You know, if it's way out, you're better off mudding the pan or pouring a soft leveler and then putting the pan down. So make sure you check everything before you install this pan. So once I get that good, I like to push down the drain support there, make sure that's embedded in the thin set pretty well before I set the drain in. Okay, now it's time to install the drain. What you want to do is get that divot there on the pan. You want to fill it in with the flat side of the trowel. Now when you're doing this, you want to keep the flat side of your trowel tight to the outside of the foam there, not close to where the drain opening is, because then you'll be on the angles on enough mortar there. You just want to fill it. It goes down about 1/8 inch or so, so you just want to keep it tight to the foam pan on the outside of that. Just fill it in real good. That way when you press that flange down in there, it's got full support. Okay, once that's all in, I'll take the excess thin set off. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just getting a scrap piece of kerdi board, that way I can do the corner, because with these pans, if you actually kneel on them with like regular knee pads, they just are around the cap of your knee, you actually dent them a little bit. So you want to put something down to protect them. What I like to do first in my install is I like to do the inside corners first and work my way out. So I use my kerdi trowel, which is 1/8 by 1/8. This one is actually made by Ruby, but it's the same company that makes Schluter's trowels and a little bit less expensive. You get them online. So I'll spread my thin set, my corners, and now I personally like to use the 8-inch drywall taping knife to screed them out flat. So here's the process of doing that. Inside corners first, then I'll take my kerdi band. Everything's already pre-cut. Everything's done and ready to go right now. So I'll just keep going along here, get everything sealed in, work my way out. Yeah, so inside corners first, then I'll do my banding going around and work my way out to the curb. Okay, now I'm doing the main piece of kerdi across the whole shower base. Now this shower base actually came with one, so I just had to cut it down a little bit. It's actually one piece. Sometimes you have to seam them one of your larger pans here. This is 5.5 by roughly 3 feet, so it's a pretty good sized shower. But you know, when you cut it down, you don't gotta be perfectly tight to the walls. I say with it, you know, because you have your 1/2 inch plate. Since the banding is 5 inch, so you have 2.5 coming down onto your shower base and 2.5 coming up on the wall, as long as you folded it in the middle on a banding. So you could be within about a 1/2 inch of the walls. I try to do about 1/4 or so. No tighter than that, no looser, but you can get away with about a 1/2 inch. So I get the piece where I want it, and then they have a template in the bag there that I take a marker. I find the drains where the drain is exactly, and I just mark it, and then I take a knife or scissors and make sure you cut it out without cutting any more than that, because then you'll have a slice or a hole there and you have a leak. So make sure you take your time and do it properly. Okay, now once I cut it out, I'll dry fit it, make sure we're good, and then pull it out, spread your thin set, and screed it out, and you're good to go. Okay, once everything is in there, you want to clean the excess thin set around the drain. Keep that clean as you can without wiping out all the excess, you know, thin set around it. You just want to keep it tight to the drain and clean. You don't want to keep pushing everything out from the center there. Get it nice and clean. And once that's done, make sure the area that the curb's going to be set in, that's nice and clean. We set the curb and we waterproof all the connections around that.